Boom.
Biddly, 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 but yes, yo, here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. Couldn't be less down, truth be told. Although I've actually had a bit of a shitty day, but we don't bring that up round here, do we? Because nobody down round here. Nobody wants to hear it. That's not why we're here. You know why we're here. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. The wardrobe's gone. Can no longer see it, and I've got so much room. I feel like I could swing me dick everywhere in this room now, but obviously the phrase is traditionally swing a cat in here or whatever. But I think it's swing a cat. Regardless, I've got two cats. They will be swinging in here. Not swinging literally. Well, see in a bit. I don't mean the cats are swingers. That can now go, but I've kept it up just as a momentous. Because if I take it off, I feel as though we're losing a little bit. But the clock watchers will already be on at me. I'm on Just Joe's at 9 o'clock to do the month of March predictions, score predictions and that, see what points tally we reckon we're going to end up on. Me and my man Joe did pretty well last month, so we got the Burnley points bang on, and then I think we're a point off or something with Sheffield, and ours we knew we'd create a little bit of a gap, which we have done because we are the boyos, and I will be doing the underlap, whoops. I don't want to be getting copyright struck by that bastard Neville. Underlap will be at 8 o'clock tomorrow until whenever. See how many beers we get through and what we get up to. Quick shout out to Sean Rooney for a big super chat. Shout out to Ming for a super chat. And shout out to George for a super chat in my lives the other night. It was much appreciated. Quick shit vid. We got the badger in. We got the badger over. We got the badger in and on and over here. Let's have it. Gruev off the line. Excellent. I don't want to talk too much about centre midfielders because I sort of did that in my monologue of in the post match. So go check that if you want what I reckon to the centre mid situation. You know, I spoke about it on Just Joe's as well last night on the final word, which was, you know, I've spoke about Rothwell enough. I was buzzing for Meslier Silent S because obviously he got off to a bit of a shaky start, but he did sort himself out. And I do think he did pretty well in the end. I mean, in the second half, he made some decent saves. And the one-on-one that he sort of comes out and collects and just keeps in his box is a wonderful bit of defending, never mind a bit of goalkeeping. So it's really well read. And that's the type of shit that can go horribly wrong in all fairness, which it didn't. So shout out to Mez for... I also thought he was unlucky for the goal. And if it had not been for the... I mean, it comes off the post. It's actually a terrible header from that dude. And then it comes off the post and he just obviously is scrambling about and he palms it in. But it's also poor defending from the offset. I think we could have got closer before the ball gets whipped in. What's his face? Rodon loves putting his arms up like to go, oh shit, I think this is a bad one. It's like I can't get in the way of it. He's got to stop doing that. I think it's a complex he's got. I know it's a complex because I've got loads of them. I thought Firpo was immense again yesterday. I thought he was brilliant defensively as well. He missed his first header. My man don't miss the second header, does he? First time he's ever won an header in his life. Now, I'm only messing, to be fair with that. I was going to make a joke saying, first time he's ever won an header, learned how to do it, mastered it before he's even got to the second one, pumps it in, loving it. But the reason why that was just to make a joke. But to be fair to him, in the air, when the ball gets pumped forward and stuff, he wins plenty of stuff in the air. He's not a problem in the air. And defensively, there were that one where I can't remember who he got in front of, but he just got in front, got the big left foot out, that wondrous one that he's got. He's so composed round box. I can't help but say it in the live watch-alongs, and I'm like, I just go, Firpo, where he loves to be, because I mean it in like, it's actually my reaction when it's like, this is on. Do you know what I mean? You know when he's in them areas, he's brilliant. I thought 3-1 was the right result, to be honest. There's been some talk that Sheffield were good value and stuff, and I do think they were. Obviously, they were. They're a decent side. I thought they started really well for 20 minutes, but I do think we deserved what we got in the end, and I think that's how games go. I must say, these last 20 minutes in these past few games where we push on, you just know the pressure's coming, and it feels like we are the team of the championship. And I truly do believe that the squad know and feel that. They know that this is coming. It's just, we're just waiting for it to kick in. And then teams just naturally, it's like the Man City thing when they were on fine form. Yaya Toure used to do it in the last 20 minutes of games where, you know, he used to get stick from the panel, you know, the pundits and that, and up in Sky Sports box, and they'd say, "He fucking why can't he do it for 90 minutes? You know, he just seems to turn it on." It's like, well, some players just get going. 60 minutes in, the game's died down. Everybody found, I don't mean the positions in the sense of physical, like, line-up position. I mean, like, you found yourself within the game, and then maybe slightly settled into it, and it's like, right, I've got another gear to go here, and that's what I feel like we've got. The game sort of like sets into, it masks itself to what it's going to be for the rest of the game, and then we break the mould and go and push, because that last 20 minutes you just know it's coming, and that don't mean it's always gonna, and we can't keep going 1-0 down, to be fair, in the hope that we bring it back. But we've played two very good sides. Obviously got West Brom on Saturday, which will be another good game. We're 16 games unbeaten, plus 50 goal difference, which is just absolutely savage. I thought Nonto were super sharp when he came on. Tanaka before Nonto's strike, he were on it again with the little pirouette thing that he does on the edge of box, where it's just somehow manages to turn in a circle, and then he's left like every single centre midfielder or anybody that were ever marking him. Thought he was brilliant, Nonto, really sharp. That's what we want from him, like bang up for it. Loving getting his opportunity. It was a big game for him, and I really thought he produced, added that injection. So also, there was some talk yesterday, and Lockie made a pretty cool point about, like, does he just get up for the big games? And I think there's something to be said about that. I also think, though, that it's when he's coming on and we say we're 2-0 up or whatever, if the game's dead, there's not a lot he can actually do. Do you know what I mean? You might come on with loads of energy and stuff, and then 5 minutes later you realise, oh, boys are just shutting up shop here a bit, and, we're not really bang at it, whereas he were coming on to make the difference, and he did really help. Parisley, I was buzzing with the substitutions to bring Rothwell and Joseph on and bring Peru into the 10. If that had happened last year, we'd have all been spitting feathers. Angry Mad Gav would have been going crazy. But ultimately, Parisley has shown himself that I'm sick of the slack that he gets, and the compilation videos that go out and about him, because it's just not fair. He's good on ball. He's not that slow. We're making out as though he's like a ship, a container, and he's not. He's not super sharp. He's not as fast as Joseph, but he's a better goal scorer. I mean, Joseph missed another big chance. I mean, it were bobbling, or not bobbling, but he's tried to, people would say he's sort of laced it, but he's tried to control it and get, so it's like an half volley. He's tried to get over the top of it, but obviously it's a difficult technique, that, but, ultimately, Parisley takes a touch, gets a bit of time on edge of box and fires it in from 20 yards. So that's also a difficult technique, and, one-on-ones is a difficult technique. Football's difficult, isn't it? The game itself can be said to be simple, but it's only simple when, Peru puts it in top bin. I know it wasn't quite top bin. A few people thought keeper could have done a bit better, and to be honest, although it was absolutely fired past him, I do think the keeper was a bit slow to react to it, but I don't care about that. Tanaka doesn't know what's going on for that second goal, does he? Wins header, he sort of celebrates twice because he wins. Well, he doesn't win the header, he just sort of moves it on. There's a melee going on, a meslier, silent S in there, and it's bouncing about a bit, and he sort of goes like, I think it's going in, and then that guy wins header on line, you think, is it going in? And then it does, and then he sees net go, mint, and then everybody charging over. Amazing. Again, Rothwell delivering decent balls, really dangerous balls into the box. Firpo's going to be instrumental to our promotion charge. Rothwell's going to be instrumental. They're all going to be instrumental at this point, but, they keep turning up, and that's what we need to do. Put some respect on Peru's name. He keeps turning up. Put some respect on Firpo's name, Rothwell's name. I think everybody's on board now. We are sensational. We meant to see that Sheffield had all done one. Them Muppets from Sheffield doing one out at ground. It were dead. It were desert. It were like fucking I Am Legend, wasn't it, in that ground at end of game. Bit of bullshit talk. This isn't bullshit talk. They're talking about a fine for Farke as well, which is, a fine for the booking that he got, when he ran 10 yards onto the pitch. And even my man Warnock, who I actually think is really quite funny and good value, he's not having any of it, but he knows what it's like, doesn't he, to actually have be involved in a passionate game of football and, want to win in the last, and he just stepped onto the pitch. But apparently, like I said the other day, it's because he's the manager and he didn't control the rest of the team. But I don't really know what you can do when a group of lads sort of sets off. That's like suggesting when the fans get onto the pitch, it's like, why didn't Farke stop that happening? It's like, well, no, that's the steward's job. I don't know, it's not the steward's job to stop the subs. But, you can only go, here, come back. And if they don't all come back, they need individual fines, don't they? But they're not going to do that. But, ultimately, if they started all fighting, it wouldn't be Farke, would it? Farke won't get booked. I'll just book Farke. I know he's nutted him and he's banged him out, and Nonto's bit Hamer's balls off, Willy Baller. There's been some talk of this Liverpool keeper Kelleher. I'm sick of it. I'm so bored of this. What will be, will be. You know, I don't want to not talk about transfers, but then when I do, people go, "Oh, you fucking hell, dude, Wycliffe, mate, you're just talking shit." If something comes up, it must come out. So, you know, while we're not in a window, I'll do my best to just sort of like wilter through them. There's some random forwards that have come up, which I'm not going to bother with right now because Wardrobe Gate's got the better of me. But Kelleher as a keeper, I still think it'll be Melier, Mez, Silent S in the Premier League next year, rightly or wrongly. Don't really care at this point in time. I'm just loving where we're at. And also a bit of mental news. It might be time for Angus Kinnear to be moved on. Whether he wants to move on or whether he's been moved on by the 49ers is sort of still up for speculation. I've never said speculation before. I've enjoyed saying speculation. I'll use it more often. But he could be off to Everton at the end of the season, apparently. So how would you view his time at the club, Kinnear? I know he's got his critics. Some people don't necessarily like how he talks and stuff. But, you know, he goes on square ball, which should appease you all as much as it does. Because you all love when they get on there, don't they? Get up. Forgot to mention it, didn't I? Blah. An iced caramel latte, free of charge, with fucking app.
The way they've been, the results they've had, 1 defeat in 13. I've got Muppets from Leeds talking about pressures on us and Bamford and Forshaw and a couple of others, and it's over to you and this, that and the other. They got beat 7 times since Christmas. We've been beaten once. We've set it up from Christmas to be in the race.
Boom.
JackCity, bitch. JackCity, bitch. Hey!
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is. Don't wanna ever feel surprised. That's why I ask.